Bone, everybody likes to know, who just committed. And of course, the next question is, who is next? As we look at the recruiting landscape and we kind of look at the rest of July, which there's only a couple of days left in July, and we go into August, who else is on the clock? Who else could look to make a commitment? I know we've talked about the tight end, Robbie Outz. We've talked about Khyree Jackson. Who are some of the guys that are set to make announcements over these next couple of weeks, and who could be next to join this very talented class of 2021?
Yeah, the only commitment right now that we're expecting that a guy that has a commitment date is Amarius Mims, the number one offensive lineman in the country out of Georgia. He's set to commit on August the 15th, so a lot of eyes will be on his commitment. But in terms of maybe somebody announcing here pretty soon for Alabama, two guys that I feel like are leaning that way and could announce here in the next couple of weeks. I would look at Robbie Outz, tight end out of South Carolina. As we've mentioned before, he has it down to a top two, Alabama and Virginia Tech. I really like Alabama's chances with him. And then Khyree Jackson, Alabama's top junior college target. Big defensive back, 6'3", about 195 pounds. Certainly one of Alabama's top overall targets in the defensive backfield. Could potentially see him making a decision pretty soon. We were expecting a commitment earlier. Actually, this month. He was supposed to commit earlier this month. Decided to hold off because I think he was hoping to maybe take a few visits, but could potentially see him making a commitment here rather soon. And I like Alabama's chances with him as well.
Bone, I talked about this, I believe Tuesday or whenever we talked. I think we talked about it on the Corey Foreman video. Alabama recently just got new lockers. I drove by Bryant-Denny. They're doing a fantastic job on Bryant-Denny Stadium. The Sports and Science Center, new strength coaches. How much does this play into this recruiting class? Because I think what Alabama is doing is certainly next level. A top tier program doing top tier things. And I think when recruits see that, I think it sells itself just like the brand does. But I think with Alabama adding these other elements, it's certainly going to take Alabama to that next level. And I get it. It's an arms race between Clemson, Georgia, the top programs in the country, but Alabama continuing to progress with their facilities. Don't you think that certainly helps the recruiting game and helps these coaches a little bit more when they're like, hey, come to Bama? Because not only are you going to get quality education, you're going to get to be playing in the SEC amongst the best, but you're also going to be having the best facilities, the best nutrition, and of course, working with the great in Nick Saban.
There's no doubt. Like I said earlier, it's kind of top to bottom. Every facet of the Alabama football program, it comes from Nick Saban. He wants the best of every single thing, with the football program, and that's just top to bottom from, the strength and conditioning coaches, everybody, the facilities, the weight room. Everything's just going to be top of the line, and they continue to update everything almost every other year. There's something new being built, and definitely a lot of money being put back into the football program to make things better. And I think a lot of these recruits and their families, even this year may be a little bit different because they weren't able to get these kids on campus and see everything that was being built. Of course, a lot of this stuff was being built, so now they're starting to put it out there. Here's our new sports science facility. Check it out. Here's our new training room. I think guys like Jeff Allen does just a tremendous job at Alabama, and I think a lot of people are just blown away by the entire support staff that they have. It's not just the assistant coaches, not just the head coach, but it's everybody that's in the athletic department.
Big pickup today for Alabama landing Damon Payne. If you want to read more about Payne, go to BamaInsider.com. Plenty of ways to support BamaInsider.com for the great work that the staff does. Andrew Bone, he's been on fire this month, last month. So you can check out all his coverage on BamaInsider.com. Great ways to get free 30 days of BamaInsider.com. Start out a podcast, so definitely subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be back at BamaInsider.com on the premium message board answering questions. And of course, on Tuesday night, Andrew and I will be back talking more Alabama Crimson Tide football recruiting. Thank you very much for joining us today. Be sure and hit the thumbs up and subscribe button. Make sure and turn on all those notifications so you never miss when we drop news on the Alabama Crimson Tide. We're coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where the Crimson Tide continue the strong month of July, pushing towards such a fantastic class. To read more about Damon Payne and to read more about Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage, go to BamaInsider.com for all your coverage. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy time with your family, and we'll catch you soon next time on BamaInsider.com.